Welcome to Flip Math Lesson 22 for the 6th grade. Today we're going to work with equal groups that include fractions. And so we're going to go through a series of word problems to help us pictorially understand what is happening in each of these problems. And so we want to look at this in a couple of different ways. We start with our first example. It says 3/4 of the 16 cyclists have a Novara bike. How many cyclists have a Novara bike? As we work with this, we want to understand what we need to do to understand the fractional parts of this problem. First of all, we want to start by drawing a nice box, just like what you see here. We know it's force, and so we're going to make our box into 4 equal parts. And now we can start labeling our boxes correctly so that we can have all the information in front of us. First of all, up at the top of the box, we want to write our total. All right, so in this case, we have 16 cyclists. All right. Next, since we have 4 equal groups, we want to divide those 4 groups, or divide the 16 cyclists into 4 equal groups. So 16 divided by 4 is 4, and so in each group we're going to have 4 cyclists. Once we've finished with that, next we can plug our information back in from our word problem. And our word problem talks about that some have Novara bikes and some do not. Now it says that 3 out of the 4, so we can say 3 out of the 4, or 3/4, and we need to add a label. They have a Novara bike, which would mean that our last little chunk is going to be the rest of the fraction, which would be 1/4 do not have a Novara. So after pictorially showing what this message or what this question is all about, we can answer this question. It says, how many cyclists have a Novara bike? We know that it's 3/4, so we can say this plus this plus this, so 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's 3/4, and so that is a total of 12. So 12 cyclists have a Novara. And so we start to see how equal groups works with fractions. We can do this again looking at it in a different way. We can say how much money is 3/5 of $10. We're going to start by putting our total up at the top. All right, and this time we have 5 sections. As we see, it's fifths, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and write 3/5 over here, and 3/5 is going to be of, right, that $10. All right, and I can go ahead and draw my bracket right away too. All right, so that's 3/5 of $10. I can do the second part of my fraction, so that would be 2/5 of $10. And draw my bracket that way. And now I just need to divide my $10 into 5 equal groups. Now 10 divided by 5 is 2, so I know that each is going to have $2. And now I can go ahead and solve this question. It says 3 out of the 5, so I say 1, 2, 3. So 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 2 times 3, is going to give me 6. And so how much is 3/5? $6. It's 3/5 of $10. And so we have an example using money. We can also just take numbers and divide this all up. And so what number is 2/3 of 60? Once again, you see the box is drawn. My total goes up at the top of 60. I can put my fraction parts in here. Right? 2/3 of 60, which would mean that this is going to be 1/3 of 60. And then I just have to take 60, and since we have 3, I need to divide 60 into 3 equal groups, which would put 20 in each group. And then I can go ahead and solve the problem, which says what is 2/3 of 60? So 1, 2. So that'd be 20 plus 20, which would give me an answer of 40. And so we're going to be working with equal groups with fractions. So as you do your work for next time, we're going to be drawing out these entire boxes with the total up at the top for our label, and our labels over here on the side, and all this here in the middle. All right. So I'll leave you with a sample problem then, so that you can work through this. I have a box drawn for you so you can understand how to do this type of problem. And that is Math Lesson 22 for the 6th grade.